What is up, everyone? Electivar54 here today, and I am more hyped than ever because my favorite series, Fairy Tail, has returned with Fairy Tail 100 Quest, Fairy Tail Century Quest. It is great. Already, I'm excited. I'm feeling the same atmosphere. It's the Fairy Tail that I wanted to come back. It's picking up right where we left off, and it looks good. The art looks perfect. We've got Moshman right in the storyboards, but we've got a new artist. But you can't even tell the difference. It looks so good. All of our beloved characters look the same. I have very few complaints. I've got a couple of things, maybe criticisms I will say, but I'm going to go ahead, hop in. I want to talk about what happened in the chapter, give my feelings on some things. All right, let's hop right into it. All right, so one thing that's super cool in this chapter, in the first scene, we see like a burning village. So we imagine this is a flashback, and we see a wizard. I don't really know what this is about, but it's foreshadowing to what's about to happen, I assume. And we learn that a big part of the Century Quest is going to be about the very first magic guild ever. It's called Magia Dragon. I don't know if I pronounced that right, possibly butchered it. But we're learning about the first guild, which is super cool because we haven't got much history of really how the world was founded, how things started. And it turns out that the first guild is actually on a different continent. The continent being called Giltana. I fucked that up. All right, guys, let's hop right into the story. So on the first page, we see some foreshadowing. We see a burning village, so we can assume this is a flashback. And we see a wizard, and we see other wizards hanging on crosses. So this is pretty serious. I'm guessing this is what the 100 Quest is going to be about. We quickly learn in the chapter that we're going to visit the very first guild ever, Magia Dragon. I believe I pronounced that right, but possibly butcher the pronunciation. Anyhow, we're going to visit the first guild, and that's where we get the Century Quest from. So my guess is in the first scene, that was Magia Dragon at its prime, and it was destroyed by something. And the reason we have the Century Quest is because Natsu and gang have to fight someone, have to avenge, have to do something. Maybe there's a curse. Someone massacred this guild, the first guild, and it looks like, I mean, you would assume they were powerful if they were the very first guild ever, so it's obviously going to be serious, and it's a Century Quest that's never been completed in over 100 years. It's obvious that it's going to be serious. So that we have so much action. We're actually introduced to a new continent. So the new guild is on a new continent called Giltana. I definitely said that wrong. But it looks like it's northern, this new continent is, and we know next to nothing at all about it. So that gives us a whole new world. We're going to have new guilds to explore. Super cool. Let's hop right back into the chapter, though, so I don't get sidetracked. We see new members of Fairy Tail. First, when the chapter first starts, we see no sign of Natsu and the gang. But we see Fairy Tail, and we see 3 new members, and one guy is all cocky, and is quickly put in his place by Laxus, which is pretty funny. They do some funny little jokes, a little bit of fan service that we always get from Fairy Tail. I enjoyed that just because I like the lightheartedness of Fairy Tail, and I also like the seriousness it can take. I love the battles. There's a lot of Fairy Tail haters out there, but I will always stand strong with Fairy Tail. Anyhow, man, I keep saying anyhow today. Oh well. So when Laxus fights this guy, knocks him out, he runs away, and then there's another younger kid, and he's so scared shitless by what Laxus just did, he runs away, and that's pretty funny. And we have one new recruit left, and it's this girl, and you can tell she has kind of a cool design, so you can assume she's going to stay in the story. Her name is Taka, and they say to her, so why do you come to Fairy Tail? And she said, because of my dear Natsu. And this girl is like a Natsu fangirl. And then the master's like, well, you won't be seeing Natsu for a while. And she's like, oh, why? And it's because he is on the Century Quest. And hallelujah, praise the Lord, we see the old crew. The one thing I will complain about, we saw Juvia right before this, and she said, my dear Gray left me, and she's like, I don't know, she's making a funny face, they're kind of making a joke out of it, but I loved the shippings that we got at the end of Fairy Tail, or so what we thought was the end of Fairy Tail, the first run of Fairy Tail. So that upset me because I really like Juvia and Gray, I like shippings, I like to see the pairs go together. But let's just put that off till a later time, I guess. But a Century Quest, who knows how long it'll take to complete? I don't know. We see the gang. I'll complain about this, but I don't really I'm not a huge fan of Wendy and Carla. I don't feel like they should get the push that they get. I know they're supposed to be main characters. I know they've been in our main crew for a while now, but I've just never really been sold to them. There's so many. I'd rather see Gajeel. I'd rather see Juvia. There's so many other characters. Like, I think they should have kept Wendy and Carla in for a while. But I think it would have been fine if eventually we just put them as normal members of Fairy Tail and they substituted and brought a stronger member with us. I love how in anime and manga we push the underdog, maybe not the strongest characters, and give them this huge push, but sometimes it's almost too unrealistic for me. Obviously, this is fantasy. It's all not real, but I don't like the push that Wendy and Carla get sometimes. I do like Carla, but I mean, Wendy's just a kid. I'm not a big fan. Hate it, love it. I'm just not crazy about it. So we get an appearance from Gildarts in this chapter. We see Natsu going to talk to Gildarts because Gildarts is the other Fairy Tail wizard who has tried to do the Century Quest and failed. He nearly died. And Natsu approaches him and asks him, he wants details about the Century Quest. So this is a flashback. And Gildarts won't reveal anything. He's like, you got to find out for yourself. And it's despair and saying how hard it is. And Natsu says, I won't be like you. I won't be like an idiot. I'm bringing my friends. And there goes the theme of Fairy Tail, obviously friendship. So Natsu, we get the little friendship spiel already, which I don't care because, like I said a million times, I love Fairy Tail. I love the themes. I love how the story is. But friendship obviously will carry over this series, and it's cool to see Gildarts. I hope he's involved in this story more. It would have been cool. I mean, this would have been crazy, but what if I would like to see even Gildarts? I would like to see Laxus. So many people besides Wendy and Carla. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So they get to this guild. They go through some snow, which is explained to be like magical, like crystal stuff. I'm not going to really talk about that because it's not too important. But they get to the guild, and it's immaculate. It's got like a giant dragon statue, and they go inside. And they think, oh, no one's there at first. And then comes fun as a dragon. That's right, there's still a living dragon, and his name is, let me see, I've got it written down, Eleftheria. I had to have butchered that, but I'm sure he has a human form. I don't know, I'm just assuming that he has a human form, and it's a massive dragon, and then the chapter kind of ends. But it's cool we have a dragon back in the series, and he's going to be the one giving our gang their Century Quest. I thought the chapter was 5 out of 5. We got a whole lot out of the short, 29 pages that it was, and chapter 2 is coming out very soon. I think the raws have already been leaked. We just need to see, we need to get it dubbed over, get some English on there. But I'm super excited. I'll be covering Fairy Tail all the way through, Fairy Tail Eden Zero. I'm your guy. Thanks very much. Subscribe, like, if you enjoyed this video. See you guys later.